Hi everyone, it's Paul from This Design That. Today we are doing a little bit of a welding project and I'm going to be making my own speaker stands. So let's get started. And be sure to check out the sponsor of today's video, PCBWay. They offer print-on-demand services for 3D printing in every imaginable material possible. They also offer PCB fabrication, assembly, CNC machining, injection molding, and more. You can have your parts made in as little as 1 week, and they accept low volume orders for all services, which is very handy when prototyping your new creations. Check out PCBWay today. So I've got two speakers to put up. These are the KRK Rokit 8s. One is going to be on my desk and it's going to be raised up on a shelf, and the other is going to be mounted onto the wall in the corner of my room. So first I'm going to make the legs that are going to raise up the speaker. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tack in some nuts onto some steel plate here, and then this will go inside of the box section and then I'll weld it all together, and that's going to make the legs, which will then just bolt up through the desk. This is really bad welding, as you can see. This is like my second or third project of welding, and yeah, I'm learning as I go, I think is probably the best way to put it. But you can see here that I just don't have the amps or the volts set high enough, and I'm just really not penetrating into this steel at all. You can see that when I grind away at the weld that I leave here, there isn't actually much penetration. This was the first leg that I did, and after I ground it away, I realized that yeah, I need to increase the power on my welding machine. Another thing that I learned as well very quickly was that, you know, don't leave too much deposit on the steel, because you've got to grind it all away and it does take quite a while. I was leaving some really fat raised up welds, and yeah, it just resulted in a long time grinding it away. But here you can see what I was talking about, where I'm not really penetrating. You can see that the line there between the box section and the steel plate. So this was the first leg that I did, and I got a jig set up. I increased the power on my welding machine and I got a little bit of a better penetration. The weld seemed to level out a bit more. It wasn't raised up as much, and that's where I think it's obviously penetrating into the metal a little bit better. I was doing this outside. You can see I'm changing my position a lot there because the wind was blowing. Now it's just time to grind away the rest of the welds. I'm just going to give it a quick spray with some yellow paint here. This is to match the yellow color of the KRK speakers. And now I'm just using some plywood that I've got left over. It's just 18mm plywood. Cut it into a square, and then I'm just going to drill the holes. I've just got some M10 bolts that are going to be going through this and bolting into the steel legs. I had to countersink these as well, because obviously the speaker is going to be sitting on top of this shelf, so I had to buy a countersink bit just for that part, which was a little bit annoying, but it looks nice and flush. You can see how this works. It just bolts into the underside of the table, up into those nuts that I welded into the steel box section, and now I've got my speaker raised up off of the desk, and I've got space underneath it to put more things on the desk, basically. So it increases the storage capacity of the desk, which is really what I wanted. So now it's time to mount the next speaker, and this was going to go on the wall. So I decided to make myself some angled brackets. I'm just cutting some angle iron here. I went ahead and, after trying to weld the first set of legs, I decided to buy some tools to help me with this. So you'll see I got a Fireball Monster or Mega Square, and now I'm just cutting all of the parts for it. You can see that also I'm grinding in a little bevel into that angle iron, just so I can get a little bit of better surface area, so I can add more weld to it. You can see the bevel here, and I tell you, this makes the world of difference, having some good tools to help you with it. Getting it clamped in, this Fireball Monster Square, it just keeps everything nice and true, perfectly right angle, and weld it together. Increased my power settings as well quite a bit here, and it really does make the world of difference. I'm just welding in the cross section that's just going to brace the brackets, and again I'm just spraying them yellow color. I've just grounded down as much as possible to get it looking relatively good. The weld isn't the best on those bracing parts there, but these are super sturdy. If you wanted to buy something like this in the shops, you know, it'd easily be maybe 20-30 pounds. I think that this angle iron and the cross brace and also the box section probably cost me about £6-7 in materials, and obviously a day spent welding and cleaning it all up. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you've got any questions, if you've got any tips to improve my welds, it'd be greatly appreciated. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.